Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here with your Ski Southeast update for the weekend. It's been warm, it's been wet, but things are changing just in time for the weekend. In fact, the weekend looking pretty good. We melted some snow, but the good news is we had such a big base, not overly concerned. Let's take a quick look at the forecast. I'm going to start with that first because we'll start with the good news. Natural snow coming in late Friday into Saturday for both West Virginia, Maryland, into North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. Now, the snowmaking chances really are going to be late Friday into early Saturday, so that's kind of deceiving. Most of Friday it's probably going to be raining, but I expect it to change to snow. But look at the snowmaking, especially at night coming up this week. It does look like next week we'll be able to make snow every night and replenish a lot of the base, which has been eroded with the warm temperatures, and honestly, the rainfall does more damage than anything. But we're flipping the script here. So here's our system. You can see it is producing some rain as I'm recording this, but on the back side, starting Friday night, cold air moves in, and a little bit of northwest flow should be a nice little burst. Not a ton. Don't look for a huge amount, but enough to kind of freshen things up. And with the snowmaking, should be great. This weekend, bluebird days, but sunny, dry, and cold enough for snowmakers to really crank up. This Monday system might try to sneak in a little bit of snow. I'm not overly optimistic. I didn't include this in the forecast because there's a lot of discrepancy in the guidance, but that would be a nice surprise. If that unfolds, I doubt it will. I think it's going to stay offshore, but just a heads up, that might be something. And then going through the rest of the week, you see maybe another burst late weekend into next weekend as something to watch. So that system right there, next weekend, is a pattern we need to watch. Now, those temperatures stay really cold. You see the cold front moving through and stays cold this weekend and into most next week. So that's a nice pattern for snowmakers. Not a ton of natural snow in this pattern, but it stays relatively cold. So how much snow are we talking about? Well, let's go through the weekend, show you that front moves through, the back side gets pretty active. And again, might be some overachieving here in a few spots, but generally 1 to 3 inches looks to be the main amount of snow, and then up into areas of West Virginia, maybe 2 to 4 inches might be what we see out of this. So not bad. Overall, the weekend's looking pretty good. Long range pattern, just to give you a heads up, because the trough over the east looks like it's going to persist. So I do think I'm optimistic. President's Day weekend and Valentine's Day weekend, got to keep an eye on that. That is a very impressive pattern there. The fact that we see, sorry, I moved the whole map there. The fact that we see this big rig trough digging down and the big ridge over here, and a little bit of ridging in the North Atlantic, this is a winner. This is what we want to see right there. That kind of pattern. If that persists next week and into the following weekend, this is going to bring more cold and possibly more snowy weather. So keep an eye on that pattern. As long as that ridge stays off the west coast and the other ridge stays in the central and northern Atlantic, that's going to allow the polar vortex to drop south and keep the cold air and at least the storm track active in the eastern part of the country. Have a great weekend. Hit the slopes if you can. Should be great. Don't let the rain on Friday deter you. The weekend is looking good. It's going to change the snow and be cold. So if you're heading to the mountains, you're going to be pleasantly surprised how beautiful those conditions are going to perk back up as soon as that cold air moves in. As always, have a great weekend and think snow. We've got a long ways to go. We're just at the beginning of February.